When great celebrities die, the world mourns. But sometimes, after their death, dark secrets emerge that change everything we thought we knew about them. In this video, we present 7 famous deceased people for whom exactly that happened. Among other things, you'll see what incredible secret Queen Elizabeth took to the grave and which actors had a dark second side that hardly anyone knew about. It's going to be revealing and very, very exciting, so stay tuned here at Infamous Secrets. We start with number 7, and with a truly dark secret that could destroy your impression of a beloved actor in one fell swoop. Charlie Chaplin. Although he has been dead for decades, everyone knows his sense of humor and his characters. Charlie Chaplin was celebrated worldwide, and his films, such as the parody The Great Dictator, are still considered cult classics, inspiring many actors and filmmakers of the next generation. But even though Charlie Chaplin is fondly remembered by the world, he had dark secrets, especially in his private life, where he was anything but exemplary. The British-born Chaplin had a preference for young women, very, very young women. When he was already over 30, Charlie Chaplin met 12-year-old Lita Grey during filming. Because he was enthusiastic about her, he cast her in more films and got closer to her. At just 15, the girl became pregnant by Chaplin. Only because the actor feared being convicted of seducing a minor did he marry Lita Grey. During the marriage, Charlie Chaplin repeatedly insulted and cheated on his wife, who was almost 20 years younger, and demanded all kinds of vile things from her. He even once threatened her with a revolver. He also had affairs with other girls, some as young as 16, and treated them as badly as Lita. In total, he is said to have been with over 2,000 women. In this context, children were repeatedly conceived, but Charlie Chaplin always denied paternity. At 54, the actor married an 18-year-old. After Charlie Chaplin's dark secret, we continue with number 6, a man whose real name probably means little to most people, but everyone knows the character he played, the actor who portrayed Dumbledore in the first 2 Harry Potter films, Richard Harris. Richard Harris took on the role of the headmaster at his granddaughter's request at the time and delighted millions of children worldwide. Shortly before the premiere of the second film, however, he died at the age of 72. The public thus remembered Harris as a friendly, beloved old man, but only now, 20 years after his death, did his sons reveal some dark secrets that cast a very different light on the kindly wizard. Harris was reportedly a heavy alcoholic and excessive in other ways. His youngest son says he once found his father on the bedroom floor, with his head buried in half a kilogram of white powder that he loved to consume. Otherwise, he was a bon vivant who loved excess. He cheated on his wife several times, partied around the world, and regularly got into physical altercations with strangers. When the Dumbledore actor got divorced, he went partying for 7 days straight, visited various brothels, and was even seen harassing a nun. Despite all these terrible things, Richard Harris was also said to have been a loving father, according to his sons. From Dumbledore's secrets, we move to number 5, and to a man whose name you might not know, but whose company absolutely everyone will. Dietrich Mateschitz, the owner of the energy drink brand Red Bull. The entrepreneur died in 2022 at the age of 78, and with a fortune of almost 30 billion euros, was the richest Austrian of all time. Even during his lifetime, things kept coming to light about Mateschitz that he would probably have preferred to keep secret. The billionaire hadn't actually invented his famous energy drink himself. He discovered it on a trip to Thailand in a shop in the early 1980s. There, the energy drink was called Krating Dang, which translates to nothing other than Red Bull. Mateschitz bought the license and marketed the drink as Red Bull. The Austrian also repeatedly came under fire for making right-wing populist statements. For example, it only came out after his death that he had rejected a product placement in the German comedy Erkan and Stefan with the words that Red Bull was not Turkish soda. Another secret that recently came out about Dietrich Mateschitz is truly incredible, and he actually wanted to keep it hidden forever. Not only did he not invent Red Bull, but his company also never produced a single can itself. From the very beginning, the Austrian fruit juice producer Rauch filled all Red Bull cans. Therefore, Red Bull was never actually a beverage manufacturer, as everyone thought, but always just a marketing company that took care of promoting the energy drinks as spectacularly as possible. We continue with number 4 and Queen Elizabeth, who took an especially mysterious secret to the grave. The monarch, who died in 2022, left the residents of the Australian city of Sydney a mysterious letter that she wrote back in 1986. Apart from the fact that the handwritten letter is addressed to the mayor of Sydney and is kept in a safe in the Queen Victoria building in the city, nothing is known about it. Not even her longtime confidants or family know what the late Queen discussed in the letter. In fact, the letter may only be opened in the year 2085, 63 years from now. Only then will the Queen's mysterious secret be revealed. Until then, it remains safely locked in the vault. So, drop your theories in the comments below. What do you think the Queen wrote in her letter? The wildest guess gets pinned. By the way, the mysterious letter is not the only secret the Queen took to the grave. The Queen's biographer, Lady Colin Campbell, revealed after her death that the Queen had been suffering for some time from a disease, a rare type of bone cancer, and that her health had been worse in the last years before her death than the public had realized. However, this has not yet been confirmed by the royal family. The Queen's inheritance is also another mystery. In addition to her possessions as Queen, Elizabeth also had a personal fortune of over £400 million, and it is not publicly known to whom she left it. From the mysteries surrounding the Queen, we move to number 3, the brilliant astrophysicist Stephen Hawking. In addition to his breathtaking theories, he was known for having been dependent on a wheelchair and a speech computer from a young age. Hawking died in 2018 as a result of his ALS, taking with him a truly dark secret, although it does not actually concern him personally, but the future of humanity, which in Hawking's eyes looks anything but rosy. The scientist, whose controversial theories repeatedly proved true, warned humanity about artificial intelligence. He said that AI-driven machines would not only become ever better at improving themselves in the future, but could also pursue goals that might be dangerous for humans. To illustrate, Hawking often made a comparison between humans and ants. Stephen Hawking explained that most people do not kill ants out of sheer malice. But if, for example, an important construction project were at stake, hardly anyone would have a problem destroying an anthill for it. The same could happen to us with artificial intelligence, only in this case, humans would be the ants, wiped out for a larger goal of the AI. Since Stephen Hawking has passed away, he can no longer develop a solution to protect humanity from artificial intelligence. Therefore, it will be more important than ever in the future that we humans proceed cautiously and thoughtfully in the development and use of AI. After these frightening future scenarios from Stephen Hawking, we move on to number 2 and an actor whom most people know, especially for his role as Plutarch Heavensbee in the Hunger Games films, Philip Seymour Hoffman. However, Hoffman was already a well-known and celebrated actor long before that and won, among other awards, a Golden Globe and an Oscar. In 2014, the actor was found dead in his apartment in New York. The subsequent autopsy revealed that he had died from a combination of 4 different illegal opiates. It was already known that Philip Seymour Hoffman had been addicted to such substances as a young man in the 1980s, but he was actually considered clean for decades. What few people knew, however, was that the beloved actor suffered a severe relapse shortly before his death. He spent the last 4 months of his life almost entirely intoxicated in his apartment, consuming dangerous doses of various drugs almost daily. Ultimately, an overdose proved fatal, and Philip Seymour Hoffman was only 46 years old. Why the actor relapsed after all those years will remain his secret forever. Finally, we come to number 1, and a singer whose songs still reach more than 2 million monthly listeners more than 20 years after his death, Falco. The Austrian musician made history with Rock Me Amadeus, the first and so far only German-language song ever to reach number 1 on the US charts. Because Falco felt hounded by the press due to his fame, he moved to the Dominican Republic, where he died in 1998 in a mysterious car accident. He had been driving too fast, and later various drugs were found in his blood. Shortly after his death, however, his last album was released with the lyric, "Do I have to die to live?" which quickly sparked rumors that the accident could not have been a coincidence. Only many years later did it become known that Falco had carried a trauma with him since birth. He was actually supposed to be a triplet, but due to complications in the womb, Falco was the only surviving child, and because of this terrible event, he remained an only child. Falco took this dark secret to the grave. By the way, there are even more historical celebrities who took their dark secrets to the grave. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button for more dark secrets and hidden truths. See you next time here at Infamous Secrets.